Hi, I'm Natasha, or Phoenix Sky. I chose Phoenix and the motto, rise after the fall, because I suffer from a multitude of mental illnesses, starting with bipolar 1, PTSD, ending with severe anxiety and acute explosive disorder. For those of you who aren't aware of what these mental illnesses are, bipolar 1 is high highs and low lows. When I'm happy, I'm really happy. When I'm sad, I'm really sad. For me, this is seasonal. So when it's summer, I'm super happy, and when it's winter, I'm super sad. And for some of you, you may be like, well, when it's winter, I'm sad too, and when it's summer, I'm happy too. But for me, it's extreme. When it's winter, I want to die. When it's summer, I want to live. I want to live like there is no tomorrow. I want to spend all of my money. I want to sleep with everyone. I want to do everything. It doesn't matter if I die doing it, as long as I had fun. That's bipolar 1. And PTSD, that's post-traumatic stress disorder. Which is exactly how it was described to me by my counselor. If you've heard it described to you in a different terminology, I know that it is used as a different name now. I don't know. Everybody's calling it different things now. But my diagnosis is post-traumatic stress disorder. It just means something very traumatic happened to me. And now I have triggers, and certain triggers cause me to have extreme anxiety or freakouts. For me, it was rape. I was raped, and so there's certain situations that cause me to freak out more than others. And also some childhood stuff that I'll get into in another video. I'm thinking of doing a series. Leave me a comment down below if you think that I should do a series on each of my things, kind of going more in depth on what each of them are and why I have them. Because I know exactly why I have them. I go to a therapist to discuss how to treat them, not why I have them. Because I am very self-aware. I know exactly why I have my mental illnesses. I just don't know how to get rid of them. I have severe anxiety, which most people know what anxiety is. It's a very common thing in this day and age. The severe anxiety isn't as common. Severe anxiety means that my life is basically ruled by my anxiety. I am constantly in a fight or flight mode. You could say pizza or ice cream, and I will be like, pizza or ice cream, and it'll just make me freak out. And so I'm working with a counselor currently. They have me doing meditations. When I went to therapy, decided to go the less medication route. I would like to go more natural. As I am bipolar, obviously completely unmedicated is not a solution. So I do take some medications. That is also another video. Probably if I do the series, I will go into the medications in the bipolar video. I have acute explosive disorder as well, which means that small triggers will make me extremely angry. Misophonia, which means like noises, like chewing or scraping, those noises get to me and they make me, for no obvious reason, they make me extremely enraged. I'll punch things. When I was younger, I tell this story like it's a joke, but really it's bad. When I was younger, me and my sister were sitting at my little sister Brooke. We were sitting at the breakfast table, well, dinner table, the table in the kitchen. We weren't rich. We didn't have a breakfast table, lunch table, and a dinner table. No. At the table in the kitchen, waiting for the bus, and she was eating crunchy cereal, and she was eating it loudly. And I hadn't started eating yet, because the only way for me to get over the noises of other people eating is if I am eating too. So normally I chew gum to get over it. But she was eating, and she was just chewing so loudly, and I just got super enraged. I punched her in the mouth, and the bus arrived, and I just walked out to the bus. She started screaming and crying, and I got grounded, and yeah. But yeah, I mean, simple things, they trigger me, and they make me really mad. But yeah, those are my diagnoses. That is my mental illness. That is part of who I am. But there's more to me. There's my girlfriend, Lisa, and her daughter, Amelia. There's my cat, Athena, my family, I mentioned, my little sister, Brooke, and her son, Aiden, my dad, Lou, his wife, Fuchsia, my baby brother, Colton, and my baby sister, Aria, and my entire family. They're all such a huge support. I didn't ever think in a million years that they would be as supportive as they are. I thought that they would look at me and be like, you're just crazy. You're crazy like your mom, which my mom's a drug addict, so I thought that they'd just look at me and be like, you're just crazy and you've probably done drugs and all this stuff. But they were so supportive. They opened their arms to me, and it was something that I never would have guessed from them. And that brings me to my rant. You are not your mental illness. You can put an end to it all. Put an end to the stigma. Hashtag rise after the fall. RATF. Rise after the fall. Be a phoenix. Be reborn. Allow your illness to make you new. Move to a new place if you need to. Become a new you. You can be better. I am. I know you're probably looking behind me like, this girl lives in a trailer. I lived on the streets in Olympia, Washington for 5 years. This is better. I have never done drugs. I will never do drugs. I don't condone it. Drugs are bad, okay? To quote South Park. But I did live on the streets. And I saw a lot of mentally ill people that didn't go get help. They were afraid. They were afraid of the label. They were afraid of that diagnosis. Because once you get that diagnosis, once that doctor tells you, you have, for example, anxiety, all people hear is, you are anxiety. People don't think, oh, I can manage that. I have it. It can be managed. They think, what will so-and-so think? I have this. Your mental illness is not contagious unless you react negatively and impact somebody in such a traumatic way as to impose danger and make them get their own mental illness. Mental illnesses are not contagious. Why are they such a stigma? Why can you not talk about mental illness? Why am I not able to talk about it with my friends without them looking at me like I'm crazy? Why did my doctor say, don't assume you are bipolar without talking to an actual psychologist? My doctor, who is attached to my counselor's office, which my therapist, who is licensed, also diagnosed me bipolar. Why did she tell me that? Why are labels so bad? Why are labels a thing? I am not a label. I am me. I am a whole person. I am kind. I am loving. I am giving. I am a hard worker. I am smart. I am reliable. There are so many things about me other than anxious, angry, sometimes unreliable, sometimes sad, sometimes excessively happy. Those 5 things do not overrule the hundreds of other personality markers about me. End the stigma. Do not be a label. Rise after the fall. Be a new person. Become a phoenix. Live a new life. I have some homework. I am going to ask that anybody viewing this, first of all, leave a comment down below after you do the homework. That's actually the second part of the homework. The first part is, I would like you to do a nice thing. Do a random kind act for somebody who needs it. Somebody who is struggling. You can visibly see this struggling person, whether it's a stranger or a family member. They're struggling with something. Say it's a mom, she's struggling with a stroller and she needs to get in through a door. If you just hold the door and smile while she's getting her kids into this building. That's the kind act. If you do that, then that's your kind act. Just leave a comment down below and tell me about your kind act and how it made you feel. That's your homework. At the end of this video, I'm gonna leave a little clippet of my girlfriend's amazing little kid. I think she's beautiful and she's amazing and she's talented and she's super cute. And hopefully she makes you guys smile. It might lift your hearts a little bit after this kind of serious video. All right. I hope you guys rise up. Bye.